The next thing we're going to tackle is using this mold, how to get thin enough hinges so that you can bend them. So we will start with 10 and 10, so we will have 20 mils or 20 grams, and give it a good mix, and then again give this a good shake. I've just used it, so it's, oh, and the clicker lid is on. So up to 20 grams and 19, 20. Perfect. Put that aside. Grab a stick. Give it a good stir. Remember to wear your gloves. Do it in a well ventilated area. If you haven't listened to my other videos, you will know that that is important when you are working with these resins. They give off toxic fumes as they set. So one needs to be aware of this. And what I'm going to do is just make a point in my cup, and I'm going to just pour a thin layer so that it just covers the base and goes around the dots so that they are left open, so then you will be able to put screws in there. I'm going to fill this one, not particularly full, this is the handle, and then I'm going to do a thin layer in the strap and another thin layer in this strap, just filling it up. There we go. And while I've got a little bit left in here, I'm going to pop it into, oh, where shall I stick it? It's quite small, so I think I'm going to pop it into this one and make that hinge. Right, and then I'm going to let that set. But what I am going to do is this over here needs some propping up because it is definitely lower. I know my desk is level and I can see the way it's running this way that I need to raise that up. There we go. And that has leveled that one out as well. Possibly also needs a little bit of a level on the side here. Maybe that's too much. There's a fine line. And wait for that to set. You can see that one is starting. At the thickest point is where it always sets first, and you actually can't see that one. It is right off the screen. So let's pull it into shot. So I have got, I wasn't expecting to pour quite so much. What I really wanted to show you was this, and again you can see where it is thickest, it is setting first, it is starting to go white, and where it is thinnest it is still clear. Because it is a chemical reaction, it is more where it will heat up more where there is more volume, and therefore it gets hotter, and therefore it sets faster where there is more resin. So the last little bit that I poured that is really thin is going to take the longest to set, and I'm going to take these out now. What you have to do is just watch the edges, because that's the last place that it's set. So it looks set, like you can push it out, and then you're going to have a sticky edge. So you just have to be patient and wait for it to set completely before you start pulling it out of the mold. So I did have some questions about the hinges, and the thinner you make it, the easier it is to bend them or to cut them. So it depends on what your final use is. If you are just putting them on the edge of a box that doesn't require opening or anything, you can just bend them. But sometimes I find it is easier to cut them with a pair of scissors. So these are almost ready to pull out. Here, this one has gone really thin there. This one I can still see is a little bit soft, and that is definitely soft. The trick is with the resin to get it out soon enough so that you can bend it, and then the next trick is to hold it there until it cools and actually sets, because if you bend it and let it go, it will automatically want to flatten again. So one needs to remember to just hold it in place. So I can see that this one here has now set enough, almost for me. Yes, it has. It's set enough for me to pull out, and this one is still incredibly elastic. So what I'm going to do is find something with a corner, and I am going to bend it around that so that I have the absolute I mean, you can almost bend it on itself. Look at that. You can really bend it amazingly at this stage while it is still fresh. So I am just looking for a box or something that I can bend it around. I will use my L from my Lady Vagabond, and I will squish it hard onto that corner so that it is flush with that edge, and just hold it there until it sets. So I'm just going to hold it at that 90-degree angle. And it will set like that. The other thing you can do is take masking tape and tape it in the two places, but I do find that you have to actually hold this particular part really well so that it bends into place and holds its shape. So I'm just going to hold it there and hold it there, and there we go. Now that one is set perfectly in its L shape. So I'm going to put that on one side, and then the next one I'm going to pull out because I can see that that one is ready, and it is also very soft. But this one, because it's quite a lot thicker over here, you can actually cut it with a pair of scissors, and then when you glue it onto your project, you can put this one here, or I normally do that one there. So I normally then would sand off this edge and put the join like that. So I'd have the round of the actual hinge over there and put that piece at the bottom. So that's that one. Then for the handle, what I like to do is, let me put the lid on this, is bend the middle around something. Okay, so you bend it like that, but of course this needs to stick to something, so you need to just flatten it. So you need to bend it and flatten it and just hold it in place. So you can have the handle as bendy as you like, and I normally do it on a surface like this. So you can even squish it up like you would make an inchworm. So you want these 2 points to be flat on the surface and the handle quite curved, or you can leave it flat. It really depends on your project, but if you're looking to get extra dimension out of it, then you need to hold it like this for quite a while. Obviously, when you pour your second one, you need to make sure that you do an equal curve. And I can see that this is bending unevenly, so I'm just going to help it. There we go, that one is set. And then the same with these ones. So I'm going to pull these ones out, and quite often your buckle will go around something, so you can just bend it or cut it off, so you can bend it there. I've left this one quite long, so if I need to, and you can see it's a lot thinner there, so then you can take your heat tool and heat up the thicker part again, and bend it. So again, I'm going to use this as my device, and it's that easy. And then we just have to let it cool.